Sessions of the Intergovernmental Committee on the Protections and Promotions of the Diversity of Cultural Expressions on the 15th of December 2016, being convinced that culture-based development is an effective weapon to tackle global issues such as environmental degradations, religious intolerance, and all forms of socio-economic injustice. Realizing that culture-based development need to go beyond its theory to create tangible impact. Aware of the fundamental contributions of grassroots professionals and civil society organizations in spearheading innovative methodologies and practices for cultural-based development, we, the participant of the International Forum for the Advancement of Culture, initiated by the government of the Republic of Indonesia, met from the 10th until 12th of October 2019 in Jakarta to share methodologies and experience in enhancing the contributions of culture for sustainable development and well-being of all. 6 key strategies issues of debates include heritage preservation, harnessing big data for cultural practices, festival as a method for social change, bottom-up policy making for culture, culture-based economy and industry, and universal basic right to happiness. At the end of rich deliberations, we encourage UNESCO member states and the member of civil society worldwide to support the advancement of culture through the following approaches. Sub-theme number 1, sharing history, safeguarding cultural diversity. We recognize common challenges and complexities such as climate change, migrations, rapid population growth, food insecurity, land degradations, war, terror, conflict, and inequality. We affirm that culture and nature are complementary, inseparable, and interdependent, which is vital to address these challenges. Creating an enabling environment is imperative to protect cultural and natural heritage to achieve sustainable development and well-being. We support every effort for cultural preservation, natural conservation and sustainable use, community participations, and the protections and promotions of the cultural diversity and natural ecosystem that contribute to their well-being both in local and global contexts. With witness, therefore, we propose these following points as action plan. First, work together to recognize, nurture, and protect open access to the diversity of cultural expressions, habitat, and ecosystem as the fundamental right of humankind. Second, work together to define the meaning and measurement of the contributions of cultural and natural heritage to well-being. The third, identify, acknowledge, and empower existing and new exchange platform for interdisciplinary and cross-cultural dialogue to promote natural and cultural heritage as humanizing factors and enrich the cultural diversity of the world. The fourth, encourage future discussions for a consensus of guidelines on the protections and promotion of cultural heritage and expressions that support peace, humanity, and the sovereignty of each country. Sub-theme number 2, harnessing big data for cultural diversity. In the era of big data, companies use algorithms to study and influence the customer's taste and behavior in order to propose new products. This in turn dictates cultural contents and products made available to each individual, thus influencing their taste and choices of cultural experience. The cycle of analysis and influence need to be further analyzed. Individuals' privacy and sovereign right over the personal data should be respected. In witness thereof, we propose this following point as action plan. First, create a preconditions that allow or gives the right to every cultural practitioner or activist to access big data. Second, open opportunities to elaborate the search for ethical and moral frameworks in the arena of data, informations, and technology. The third, advocate data policies that respect ethical principles and intellectual property, including data sovereignty, privacy, and cultural differences. Fourth, work together against any attempts to utilize big data and to create and or spread cultural prejudice, divisions, conflicts, and violence. The fifth, create an action patterns which guarantees the utilizations of big data which respect intellectual properties and cultural values. Subtheme number 3, festival as a method for social change. Festivals, traditional or contemporary, have been an effective means to boost local development, community engagement, or including collective effort, inclusions, and co-creation, as well as social and environmental consciousness. This positive effect of festival need to be further understood and utilized consciously as a tool for social change. A global network of festival organizers may be created to discover and share innovative practice of linking festival with sustainable development goals. In witness thereof, we propose these following points as action plan. First, strive to create an interconnections between festivals around the world in order to develop a global framework for social transformations impacting the quality of life and to create a platform to mobilize government and funding support. Second, strengthening the inclusive and popular basis of festival to create people-to-people forums, tapping into arts functions as social critics. The third, propagating cultural initiative to promote adaptive and innovative reuse of available infrastructures for regenerations and transformations. Subtheme number 4, bringing the people back for policy making in culture. As the purpose of cultural policy is to attain sustainable development and well-being of all, the process of policy making has to be naturally bottom-up to reflect the need of people. We need to develop mechanisms to empower artists, cultural professionals, and communities at large to participate in the policy making process, as well as to monitor the effectiveness of public policies. In witness thereof, we propose these following points as action plan. 1, develop a global initiative that systematically and regularly provide capacity buildings for stakeholders in environmental and cultural sector to empower the people. Second, promote an inclusive mechanisms to ensure the contribution of people working in the art sectors, environmental and cultural professionals, minority groups, and the marginalized people, and society at large in the policy making processes. Third, promote further global cooperations among all environmental and cultural stakeholders to practice a more eco-friendly rural and urban linkage and revitalization. Subtheme number 5, culture-based economy in the era of industrial revolutions 4.0. There is a huge gap between creative and cultural industry and advancement of technologies from Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is a risk for cultural plurality and freedom of expressions. Diversity of stakeholders participating in the production and dissemination of cultural content is a precondition for democratic and just society. This asymmetry in the value chains need to be rectified so as to reflect the voice of every nation and community of the world, in particular the developing countries. In witness thereof, we propose this following point as action plan. First, ensure access to resources, knowledge, technology for all to create equal playing field. Second, develop a monitoring and evaluating mechanisms that ensure a just and equitable cultural value chains for all members of global cultural ecosystem. The third, create a common platform in collaborations with government and private sectors which promotes life-centered technology that deepen empathy, social solidarity, and human sensibility. The fourth, advocate the recognitions of diversity inside creativity industry, not only its cultural content, but also the cultural background of the people behind it. Lastly, the sub-theme number 6, well-being for all, toward a universal basic right to happiness. Well-being and happiness for all is ultimate goal of development that cannot be merely judged by the amount of material wealth, but immaterial factors such as sense of belonging, pride, mutual trust, and fulfillment. Culture is probably one of the most effective means to bring emotional, intellectual, and spiritual satisfactions. Contribution of culture for development should be measured not only from its economic output, but for its power, providing personal well-being, happiness, and maintaining environment sustainability. It benefits of we propose these following points as action plan. First, advocate a development policy based on cultural approach, which ensure well-being and happiness for all members of PISP. In turn, culture-based development predispose a country's dynamic cultural index. Second, promote an inclusive, universal basic right to happiness as the supreme goal of all development policies. Third, campaign for an education system which relies on the physical, mental, and spiritual well-being of the children in order to create a conducive environment and to unlock their uniqueness through personalized learning. Jakarta, 12th of the October 2020.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Again, on behalf of the steering committee, we would like to thank all of you who attend this very important gathering and meeting. We will send this document to the government of Indonesia. Hopefully, we will meet next year on the World Cultural Forum. Before the end, I would like to ask the UNESCO office to say a few words on that, since the UNESCO is patronage of this event. In Hawaii.
Yes, I see the mic is at the height of Ananto. But good afternoon. Actually, I didn't know that I have to say something, so I haven't prepared any official UNESCO statement. So allow me to do a bit of to give my very personal opinion. So don't be quoted as UNESCO statement. Well, I think what UNESCO and organizing committee try to achieve is captured in the two last paragraph in the preamble of Jakarta's statement. One is how to go beyond theories, but show in the real practice about culture and development, and how to learn from the grassroots initiatives and the NGOs. To be, I think that we, the bureaucrats, of Indonesia, or including UN and UNESCO, we're very good at philosophizing and making a lot of theories. And this culture and development has been a very old theory of UNESCO since at least 1980s. I'm reading all the reports until now, which is all the same. It looks like we just learned how to do cut and paste intelligently, so it looks like something is slightly different than 20 years back. But the danger and the reality is that none of us sitting in the bureaucracy actually knows what's going on the ground. And that kind of made us worried, like, are we doing right? So we insisted for this forum that we don't want bureaucrats, we don't want the theoreticians, but we really want the practitioners. And I'm really glad you all came, because you are the ones who are moving the things on the ground, and we learned a lot from you. So we really hope you continue kicking our butt, so that we wake up to reality and say, so make the bureaucracy a little bit more grounded and useful to the people. And so we will be very open to the criticisms and suggestions, and I really appreciate the fact that you really participate in the reviewing of the statement. Usually, in this kind of UN conventions, everything is predefined, and you just like change commas here and period there. It's like, okay, I know the story, but in the group 1 and 4, you really change it. We don't recognize some of our original text at all, and we're very happy about that. So thank you very much, and look forward to meeting you again very soon, and please keep inspiring us through your activism.
Thank you, Ms. Danando, and also to Ms. Mochiba. But first, we would like to have a full session with all the speakers and the stage area, all the speakers. Then we can invite moderators and also speakers to approach to the stage. We have a photo session, as well as our facilitators.
Hi, me. Hello.